here we have a list that's pretty dirty. We have first name, last name, gender, and basic personal contact information. We don't even have a company name. So we're starting from scratch here. We just have an attendees list and we don't have much information on LinkedIn or anything. So let me show you how to enrich this. First things first, we need to find their emails and their LinkedIn. Those are the two key things we're looking to find. And in order to do that, I'm going to need to create a first and last name so that I can look up things later. So I'm going to say create a full name from first and last name. I'm going to click generate formula. And then Clay's AI interpreter is going to create the JavaScript formula, and it looks to be correct. Looks like we have the umlauts as well, so that's nice. Rendering. And so now we have the full name, and we also have one important thing, which is the email. So I always like to keep my columns clean and rename them. We have some of the emails, but we don't have all of the emails. For those which we do have, I'm going to duplicate this view and I'm going to rename it to with emails. And then I'm going to create a filter and I'm going to say for the email column that I just named, it equals to not empty or is not empty. There we go. Now we have a view with emails and all the folks with emails. Now we had a total of 90 contacts. Now we have 54. And then so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to duplicate this again, duplicate this list again, and I'm going to rename it. I'm going to say without emails. Then what I'm going to do is change the filter to is empty. And that's going to give us all of the folks whom we don't have an email for. So right now I'm going to work with what we do have. So I'm going to go back to folks with emails. And now that I've got the email, I can find the company name. So I'm going to go insert column right. I'm going to use a formula column. I'm going to create a company name from the content after the at symbol of the email. Do not include the top level domain like .com. So less email. Okay. So basically I'm just telling it to create a JavaScript formula down here and it creates a company name. And then I want to say as well, I want to say return the company name in title case. Okay. So now we have company names and title case. Output is correct. So at least we have some company names here. We can look them up now. And now I will go insert a column. I'm going to use the AI and I'm going to say, I want you to find the correct company name. Do a web search and identify the correct spelling and syntax based upon these columns. I want to give it all the details that you would look up yourself, website URL. In fact, what I might say is find the website URL. I want you to look and find the correct website URL, give the company name, company information below. I need to find the correct website URLs for a list of companies. I'm not spending a whole lot of time tweaking my prompt because we have this lovely AI interpreter that can improve the prompts for us. So I'm going to let it do the heavy lifting as long as I provided enough context of what I'm trying to do. Of course, it correctly selected Clayagent because Clayagent is a web scraper. So that's fantastic. And it's going to write the prompt for us. All right. And I'm going to save and don't run. So the best way I've found to enrich is to go to insert column right, add enrichment, and we want to enrich the person's information and scroll down and find their LinkedIn URL. So I will go person's LinkedIn URL via work email because we already have the work emails. And so I will use that data and we'll click on it. And then full name, work email, that's correct. It already selected the columns with the work emails. The full name column that we created before is also selected. All we need to do now is click save and don't run. Then we created this waterfall here. This is what it created as a column. If you click these two arrows, you will see it created this waterfall. It uses these various services to enrich the prospect information. At the end, we have the LinkedIn profile URL. And if I click on it, we get to Florian Bodenmann. I would probably run 10 or 12 of these company names and then view their LinkedIn profiles to determine if it makes sense, if they actually work there. Other thing you can do is pin the column. So you can have the official website URL right next to the company name. I would say in this instance, it looks like it is correct. Next all, Pensionsklasse commit, all looks good. If we were going to send them an email, we would want to extract the profile information from their LinkedIn, which we can do. Every LinkedIn profile has an about section. If we wanted to write them a personalized email, this information would be really useful and we could extract that information. If you want to do that, let me know and I'll show you how that can be done as well. If you had any things that you wanted me to cover, but I didn't cover, or anything's confusing, let me know and I'll clear it up for you. Now for the people without emails, let me show you what I did. So we only had the last name, first name, and full name. That's all we had. I created a column and I said, use AI. I put in a prompt like this, where it said, look up full name on LinkedIn and return their current company and LinkedIn profile URL. And then I gave it a little example input. Full name would be Jane Q. Smith. Example output, company is Acme Corp. And the LinkedIn profile URL is LinkedIn profile URL. And so I click generate. And then from there, it's going to select the Clayagent, which is the web scraper agent, because this is live website data it's going to scrape. And then it's going to create that prompt. And then what it looks like when it creates the prompt is something like this, right? You can just scroll down and click save. And then when you click play on these and you run it, you're going to get the LinkedIn profile URL and the company names. If you don't see these columns here, click into the response, double click into the response. Then you can see company here. You can see the reasoning. So how the language model was thinking. You can see its confidence level. So how confident is it in what it found? And in this case, it's high. You can even see the steps that it took. Most importantly, you can see the LinkedIn profile URL. If you don't see these columns automatically created, you just go here, say add as a column, give it a name. You can just click create and it will add the column here. This goes for the company name as well. If you don't see the company name here, but you want to, you click add its column, give it a name and create it, and it will pop up right here. So we've found the LinkedIn profile URLs, and now we can just reach out to these people via LinkedIn and do a LinkedIn campaign outreach, for example, and just send them a message, connect with them, etc. And that's one way we could do it. If we wanted to dig a little bit deeper, we could do a waterfall enrichment where we would find a little bit more information about them. For example, we could find what their company domain is, and that would be under latest experience. We would go company domain right here and add that as a column, create company domain, and then we have now the company domain. In this case, we don't have company domains because it wasn't available. If we run it, then it will be available. We have lots of information like certifications that we could add as columns. Later, we could send a message to this person about their experience or all the information that we have. We have the summary of what their company does, all kinds of stuff. So now that we have found the LinkedIn profile, we have found the company name, we've found the domain, what we can do is we can, and I just collapsed this column here, but what we can do is we can go and we can find their email. So we can go add enrichment, we can go enrich person, and we'll go to work email. Here we have the first name, full name, I mean. Then we have the company domain, which we will pull in from this column right here that we had. Some we won't have, right? Some we will have. And so that's how we're going to enrich it. And I'll click save, and save don't run. And it's going to create these columns. From there, I can click on this. I'm not going to click that because we don't have a domain. And there we go. There's the email. Okay. So this is a waterfall again. So what happens basically is if it finds this one, then it won't activate these. But if it does not find it, it will continuously activate these until one of these finds it, hopefully. And look how many services this is. This is incredible. And so here at the end, I'll put this in a nice yellow color. We have the final results, and this is called a summary column, or you might say combination column. So what I will do is collapse the waterfall, and then here you can see only the combined emails at the end. And that keeps the table nice and clean, so you can sort of manage visually everything much better. So we've gone from basically not having very much information, just the first last name, to completely having their LinkedIn profile, their company, their domain, their work emails, etc. And then from there, we could validate those emails and do other kind of things. We could write personalized messages to them. We could pull in their LinkedIn profile information. If you want to learn how to do that kind of stuff, let me know. Hopefully this is helpful. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.